Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are looking at the NBA Prize Picks props for Friday, January the 20th. Happy Friday to everybody. We have a nice slate as well as a freebie with Luka Doncic tonight. So that's what we are going to go with and see if we can find 5 of the props that will help us get to 6 for 6 and 25x today. Yesterday's went 3 and 3. Grant hit, James Harden hit, and Steph Curry hit. Embiid missed by 3 points and rebounds, I believe. We needed 43.5. I think he had 41, or maybe he missed by 2. So he missed, unfortunately, and then also missed on Lillard's points by a little bit. I think it finished with 25 points. We needed 32. And then the final prop was Nurkic, who in foul trouble and just had a terrible game from him. So that was not a good play. But go ahead to tonight, see what we can do. I have picks from a bunch of different games today. Starting with the Luka freebies, nothing much to talk about. Whenever you have a free square, you want to take advantage of it. So that's the first prop. Second one, I'm going back to CJ McCollum over 25.5 points now. It's been frustrating the last few days if you have been going with him over 25.5 because he's been in some tough matchups. Last game, they were getting blown out early by Miami, and he didn't get much done in this fourth quarter. He kind of lost a bunch of minutes at the end of the fourth, and they were struggling. They just didn't have it. But he still finished with 21 points, and I believe he had 21 heading into the fourth, so he didn't have any points in the fourth quarter. This one, it's a much different matchup. Magic give up a ton of points. He just played 31 minutes last game. Typically, he'll play up to 37 or 39 in close games, so he lost definitely a chunk of minutes there. Just expect it to be a much better game from him to bounce back. The only time he faced off against the Magic was last year with the Pelicans, and he did have 32 points in that game. And Ingram's already been ruled out once again. We never know when we're going to see him back. But he's out. Zion's out. So if there's any chance that McCollum can get back to what he was before the last few days, it's a great spot today against the Magic team. So I'm not going to let the last few games kind of sway me away from McCollum. It's a great matchup. And he still was hitting some threes last game. It was just a tough matchup against Miami. And they were not really in the game early on. And it kind of lost rhythm there. Next prop we're going to is points, rebounds, assists. We're going to Memphis. And this one we are taking the big man, Steven Adams, north of 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's going up against the Lakers matchup, which is great. I love targeting against the Lakers opposing teams and even targeting some Lakers players. They play fast. They give up a ton of points. Steven Adams has been doing better recently just with the scoring. We know he's going to be able to gobble up so many rebounds. And it's in Los Angeles, so hopefully it stays closer. LeBron does have the Q tag, but he's typically been toughing it out in those spots. Coming off double-double last game against Cleveland. 4 out of his last 5 games, he scored at least 10 points, which is encouraging. And he's had at least 10 rebounds in 3 out of the 5. He had an 18-rebound game against Sacramento, 15-rebound game. Also against Sacramento, 23-rebounding game early this month against the Kings. And he should be able to gobble up some boards against the Lakers front court with Thomas Bryant down there. And I like this better than just his points and rebounds because he's a guy that will dish out some assists as well. Typically, he's been in that 1 to 4 range. In his last 5 games, he's had at least 2 assists, and he's had 3 games with at least 4 assists during that stretch. So, 2 more assists for him would be a push instead of his points and rebounds. So I'm liking getting all 3 instead of just the points and rebounds with him or just the rebounds. So that's our third prop of the day. For our fourth prop, we are going over to San Antonio. And this one we are going back to Trey Jones. He's been great recently. Tough one last game against the Nets from him from a personal standpoint, even though they won the game. And that was because Keldon Johnson was just going off. Johnson had over 30 points scored. And Trey Jones just didn't have much going early. He had some good things later in the game. But encouraging that he's still playing big minutes. At least bigger minutes in terms of a Spurs perspective with their young guys. It's at home in San Antonio, so I feel comfortable with it staying at least reasonably close. And he's just done a good job of contributing in all categories. Only 13 points scored last game, but typically he's been scoring high teens to even in the 20s recently. He gives you a lot of assist opportunities. He has 5+ assists in 6 straight games, and he had a 7-rebound game against the Kings, 6-rebound game against the Grizzlies. He's been chipping in all categories, so I do like taking all 3. The matchup against the Clippers, they've kind of been free-falling a bit. He had 2 games against the Clippers this year, I believe, already, and he went 1 for 2 in hitting this over. But one of those games, they got blown out in against the Clippers, and he saw like 26 or 27 minutes. So I feel good that if he does see over 30 minutes today, he should be able to be right around this number, if not maybe even give you over 30 like he typically has been recently. So that is our fourth prop, going with Trey Jones there. For our next prop, we're going with the big man who's just been red hot, and that's Jokic. And we're taking his over points, rebounds, and assists. It's going up against the Indiana Pacers. He's just been absolutely balling out recently. Even on a back-to-back, he had monster triple-doubles. So he had the day off on Thursday. Should got some rest and good to go for tonight's game. Great matchup against Indy. It's in Denver. Jokic plays better at home. He's coming off of 3 straight triple-doubles, and he's had some monster scoring the last few games, 31 points and 36 points. So you really like that sign. Going up against Miles Turner, who's typically a very foul-prone center. Jokic should be able to have his way, especially if he does get him into foul trouble. They have nobody to even kind of consider slowing Jokic down, and he's just been really good recently. He's probably, in my opinion, top 2 in MVP, if not top 1 in the race currently. And they should score probably more points than usually they do against just how good of a matchup it is. So last time he faced off against the Pacers, it was just 21 minutes played from him. Might have been a blowout, but that game he was on pace to crush 24-6 and a 4 in 21 minutes. Game before that, 37, 13, and 9. So that would be 59 PRA. Before that, 32, 14, and 5. So another big game. That would be 51 PRA. And then he had a 40 PRA game. He had a 44 PRA game before that. But that's going back to like 2020. So at least the last 3 meetings have been very encouraging against the Pacers. And it's just a good spot against that front court, especially Miles Turner if he is in foul trouble. So that's our 5th prop of the day. And then for our final prop, we're going to an assist prop. And there's a few that I like. You can take the over on. But actually, we'll look at Josh Giddey. Am I looking at his assist or looking at his assist and rebounds? So we can get those at 15.5. I'll probably take the assist and rebounds for Josh Giddey. The matchup is great against Sacramento. They should score. Kings play one of the fastest teams in the league this year. He's been good in terms of just chipping in all categories recently. He's been scoring well too, so you could take all 3 if you wanted to. But the minutes have been good for him recently. Last game against the Pacers saw under 30 minutes, but gave you 17 points and rebounds. Game before that, 18 points and rebounds. Before that, 16 points and rebounds. So he's hit in 3 straight games. Missed it against Philly, which is a tough spot. Then he gave you 25 in a tough matchup against Miami. So if you look at his last 5 games, it's been 4 out of 5 he's hit this. And I also do think you can look to LeBron's assist or his points and assist. But it's a great spot against the Kings. And I'll pull up his game log. Hasn't faced the Kings at all this year, which has been his kind of breakout year. Last year he faced them, he had 24, 8, and 4. So he gave you 12 rebounds and assists, but he did have a great scoring game. So if you want to factor that in, you could take all 3, but I still feel good about him. At least, probably even having maybe a double-double tonight with either 10-plus assists or 10-plus rebounds, and then giving 6 of the other categories. He's been really good recently, and I think they should continue to play well. They've been great over the last few weeks and scoring well, and they should continue to do that against the Kings tonight. So that's it for me. Those are the 6 props I'm looking at. Luka, Freebie, McCollum give us 26 points tonight. Adams over 22.5 PRA. Same thing for Trey Jones, 25.5 PRA. Jokic over 47.5 PRA. And then Josh Giddey over 15.5 points and rebounds. Thank you for watching. Best of luck, and I'll catch you all next time.